Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk today a little bit more about the new formula Chanel Longwear Nail Colour, which was released in the States quite a few weeks ago now, as far as I'm aware. I thought until yesterday, when I managed to have a chat with a sales associate of Chanel in Harrods in London, that we weren't due officially to get them until the 28th of April, but Harrods have in fact got them. I've had these three colours here for about a fortnight now because Jane off British Beauty Blogger blog flagged up that a website called Feel Unique, which I think is based in the Channel Islands, had them. They didn't have them for very long. Either they sold out or Chanel got cross with them because they'd mistakenly put them up on the website too early. But in the interim, I had ordered sight unseen, in the sense that they were just stock computerized colours, so it was a little bit difficult to check the colours. I ordered these three sight unseen, and I haven't used this one, which is Mythique, yet at all on my nails, but I've used both of these several times now. Now, I have to confess, I think it's really, really difficult to give an objective view on Chanel nail polish for me, above all things. If you have seen any of my videos or follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I am a collector of Chanel nail polish. I have probably around 300 bottles, I'm ashamed to say. So it is an obsession. And the minute I saw the designs of these bottles, I have to admit that I was kind of anti them, because I really dislike the fact that they no longer have the number and title of the polish anymore. I've seen bottles like these over the years on eBay and always assumed that they were fakes. I suppose they might actually have been special limited editions in different parts of the world, but to me they just scream fake. I mean, I can see that maybe Chanel think that this is a more streamlined look, but it's really awkward when you've got loads of these polishes and you want to know the shade. It is on the back, but in much smaller print. And when they're displayed, it's just more awkward. But that's a kind of a first world beauty nuts obsession, really. It shouldn't make any difference about the formula itself. So that I came with a bit of a negative mindset, and when I first used these new ones, that was kind of enhanced by my experience. Now I have to flag up a cautionary note, in that I've read more or less positive things on other people's blogs, particularly a number of people who, I know are as obsessed, if not more obsessed than I am with nail polishes. So I have to think, when they are so positive about the new formula, that maybe it's something about me, what I'm doing, or maybe my just coming with this slightly negative mindset to this new range. So bear that in mind when you listen to what I've got to say. My experience thus far, until yesterday, was only with me applying myself. Now, I say that straight away because I am not a professional manicurist, and I always find that when my nail polish is professionally applied, and I generally go for a manicure once every 2 weeks or quite often weekly, it lasts much better than when I do it myself, even when I use a proper, base and top coat. So that's the first point. Until yesterday, and this is how it's looking from yesterday so far, although my fingers are in a horrible state. I got a real bollocking from my manicurist about the state of my hands after not going for 3.5 weeks. The polish isn't chipped. So that's immediately an improvement from when I first applied this one, and it literally chipped within 24 hours. Badly, badly chipped. Now, the second point is I have been using a base and top coat as I always do with Chanel, but not Chanel's own. I have never used, or never in recent years used, Chanel base and top coat. Neither does my manicurist. My manicurist uses Sèche Vite. I use a Sally Hansen base at home with a Dior gel top coat, which I love. And I have to say, using those, I was still chipping with both these two. And I've used this on toes as well as hands. I put it on my toes earlier this week and it's literally peeling off my big toe, again, within about 24 hours. Whereas my standard Chanel nail polishes, even with me applying, tend to last on the toes about 10 days. So that is a bit weird. The sales assistants, of course, say, oh, you need to apply these with the special top and base coat from Chanel. Maybe that's right. I don't know. I'd be glad to know if everybody else out there who's having such good results with them are using the Chanel base and top coats. Maybe that's it. Now, the second thing I want to say, and a big thing as far as I'm concerned, when I chatted to the sales assistant yesterday, I discovered for the first time, and maybe it's my fault and it's out there on YouTube and in the blogs, but it's not how I'd understood it, that this new range is not going to be instead of the old range. It's in addition, and it is specifically a gel formula that is not a gel formula. In other words, it is meant to mimic gel nails, but isn't a gel formula, and that should be obvious because you can remove it with normal nail polish remover instead of the heavy duty stuff you need with shellac or most other gel foundations. So that was interesting to me and actually rather reassuring, because my main gripe when I got to see some of the ranges, they are all plain creams. Absolutely no shimmer, no pearl, no duochrome, just plain colours. They're beautiful colours, and Chanel do beautiful creams. And in my experience of the normal formula, the creams are their best lasting on the nails. And I have a number of them and love them. April, for example, is a cream formula, kind of pinky plum, one of my all-time favourite nail polishes, and it's just a straight, long-lasting cream. Accessoire here is quite a nuance, but basically a cream, and I think it's very similar. This one's looking slightly browner to this one that I've got, which is Mythique, which I haven't used yet. Very similar to Accessoire, but others as well. This one here that I'm wearing on my nails, I had thought was a dupe for Frenzy, but when I put them together, you can see Frenzy is, I don't know, guess a bit warmer toned, definitely less kind of green in the mix, more beige in the mix. And this one is monochrome, by the way, and I've worn this a couple of times, and I really like the colour. It's not looking great on my messy hands today, but a very polished colour. And this one that I got is called Gitane, and Chanel do such great reds. I think it's quite similar to Coquelicot's, possibly a bit more orange. Coquelicot, I think, was last year, so it makes sense it's very similar colour. But my point is, they're all straight creams, and I think where Chanel really excels is the kind of interesting, complex finishes they do. So, example, they're famous for their duochromes. One of the, all-time big sellers, a major duochrome here, is Peridot. One of these polishes that just looks different in different lights. Peridot was a big sellout for them. It actually doesn't look great on my nails, but another one historically that's one of my favourites is Black Pearl, an amazing grey, green, blue, looks completely different colours in different lights. And last year they came out with, here we go, with one of the duochromes, Rose Fusion. admired every time I wear it. Sometimes it looks a bit purpley, sometimes beige, sometimes grey, all those different colours in the chroming. Now, none of this new range has that. But it makes sense if these are just gel formulas that are being added to the range, and Chanel aren't going to stop bringing out the other formulas that they're so famous for. The other thing that I think they're famous for is the kind of micro shimmer or slight pearl in creams. So, a good example of that is Coromandel, one of my favourite reds. On the face of it, just another tomato red. Don't know if this is going to show up, but actually has a very subtle shimmer in it, which is a lot less obvious when you paint it on the nails, but just kinds of gives the basic colour a depth and a complexity that an ordinary cream doesn't have. And I thought one of my favourites of this, Paradoxical, a kind of hidden pearlized chrome shimmer in it that doesn't show up as much on the nail, but gives it that kind of depth. And then you've got ones where there's just a very fine glitter, kind of micro shimmer. This is Beige D'Or as a example. They do this really prettily in kind of soft baby pinks and creams, which I wouldn't normally wear because I just think they're a bit blah and flat, and you might as well just buy a cheap nail polish if you're just getting a straightforward beige colour. But these kind of micro shimmers really add something to the colour and make them extra pretty to wear. And then, of course, they're pearls, just pearlier and prettier than the cheaper ranges. This one is Rose Moire. So I just pulled out a few of those kind of different finishes that you get from Chanel. And my great fear had been that there were none of these in this new range. And I think it's about 14 shades, and the way I'd read it was they were, phasing out the old ones, because some of these are plainly replacements for the old colours. So, I think this is Coquelicot, but in gel form, and there is certainly a Rouge Noir. I haven't bought it yet. But if the sales assistant I was talking to yesterday is right, and she may not have been, and as I say, I haven't read it anywhere else, that's not true. There's just going to be this gel range, and equally they're going to continue bringing out seasonal colours in the different finishes. So I feel a lot better about what's happening if that's the case, and thought I'd share it. The other interesting thing in Harrods, they are showing the entire range, but they have the number and name on the front, as with the kind of old. I got very excited when I saw that. And she said, no, don't get excited, because these are just the testers. The one you would buy looks like this, with no name and number on the front. So that was a bit of a disappointment, dash, as it were. So I thought I'd just share my update. As I say, if you're in the UK and London, Harrods have certainly got them. They're not yet on the website for Selfridges, but it's not to say that they're not in Selfridges. And if Harrods have got them, I'm pretty sure the pop-up stores, for example, at Covent Garden, will have them. I'm calling them pop-up stores. They're actually permanent now, but small makeup-only stores. I haven't been into mine, which is where I normally go, so I can't actually say for sure, but I'm pretty sure if they're in Harrods, they'll be there. And any day now, they're going to be kind of UK-wide. I'd be interested to see what people make of them, and especially if the people... Yeah, is there anybody out there who has used these, thinks they are lasting better or even equal to the old formulation, but has been using them with other than the Chanel base and top coat? Because if that's so, then I really, really am mystified as to why I'm getting such poor results with them. But there we go. Anyway, lots to show you and talk to you about in the next few days when I get a moment. But until then, bye for now.